name's Niamh McArdle and I'm 16 years old and I play for Niamh Owens in Belfast. This year I took part in the Dermot Earley Youth Initiative, which is basically a course for young leaders. The course consisted of 3 modules and the third module was a community action project. Due to the COVID-19 pandemic, we weren't able to do what we initially planned, which was a blitz within our own clubs. Instead, we've broken into 4 different groups and with 4 different topics and speaking to high profile players all over Ireland about their experiences with the COVID-19 pandemic. My group chose mental health, and within that I chose depression as my subtopic. After a lot of research, I decided to reach out to Nicole Owens about her journey with depression. She plays for the Dublin senior ladies team. I myself knew that it was hard trying to get myself motivated again after going from training 3, 4, maybe even 5 times a week to doing absolutely nothing. So I thought it'd be interesting to speak to somebody who has had a journey with depression and how it affected her getting into lockdown from training at an elite level 5 to 7 days a week to also doing absolutely nothing.
So I'm Nicole Owens. I play for the Dublin ladies senior A-League team, and we've been lucky enough the last few years to have a lot of success. But kind of along with that, I had a few mental health challenges. So I suppose it really stems back to probably when I was a teenager. Really, I was quite insecure. I had very low self-esteem. And sometimes I would sort of get all in on myself and I would be very, very low. And then I would kind of go through stages where I didn't really want to talk to anyone or see anyone. I'd be quite apathetic and I'd sort of almost hide away in my room. And I kind of was able to deal with it. I was struggling with other things like my sexuality at the time. I kind of was able to deal with it in this kind of sense, like put it in a box and then just didn't address it or think about it or talk about it to anyone, because if I talked about it to anyone, I sort of have to address my sexuality. But then later on, kind of as I was getting into college, it was still kind of there, even though I kind of was now sort of coming out to my family and everything, and I was open. With my friends, I still had these sort of really low periods, but it was really only when I came to my 3rd year of college that it got really bad. Away from home, I was in with 3 other girls from college in Spain, and I almost had the space to just completely box myself in then. And so I didn't have my family checking in on me and sort of holding myself a little bit accountable. So by the time I come back in 3rd year, I realised that those kind of really low periods I had were getting closer and closer together, and they were lasting longer, and it kind of felt like when I was in them that I wasn't able to get out of them. And that probably was the time when I was at my most low, and I was kind of starting to get a bit worried about some of my negative thoughts, and kind of how I was feeling, particularly that idea of not being able to see the end of a very low period. And then one day in college, someone said something snappy to me, really innocuous, and I had put a complete breakdown, couldn't stop crying in the middle of a lecture theatre, which is fairly embarrassing. I left and I ended up calling my mum, and she came and got me, and she brought me home, and it was the first time I actually had was almost forced to talk about how I was feeling. It was brilliant. My mum kind of got me to go see a GP. I was put on antidepressants. I started going to see a therapist. So it was really positive, and things did go up from then. With my team initially, with Dublin, that stage I was just kind of 21. I was sort of on the outskirts of the team, sort of breaking into the team, but I didn't feel, I probably wasn't as comfortable around the team. But really it was sort of the next time I suppose I had a low period that the team was really there for me. So in 2017, it was sort of a year of 2 halves. At the start of the year, even though football was going okay, I started to get really low again. I'd come off my antidepressants without sort of giving myself the tools to deal with maybe those negative inner voices that I still had. I hadn't really bought into the therapy to the extent that I should have. And I had a relationship breakdown, and I just wasn't equipped to deal with it. So I ended up just having a complete breakdown one night, to the extent that my mum had to bring me to A&E to get a sedative. So I was so worked up and so panicky. and it was a horrendous time in my life, but I think the main thing for me was that it really reinforced for me the support network I had around me. So my family was always one, and my friends, but I think really the fact that I had to take time away from football for a few weeks meant that I couldn't hide it as much as I had the previous time, and only tell a few select people on the team. So everyone was aware of it, and not in a way that kind of made me feel self-conscious. It was more in a way that people just reached out and checked in with me every so often. Like, still to this day, I'll get a text. Someone knows I'm a bit off, I'll get a text, someone just checking in. If I miss training, someone will be like, oh, just checking everything's all right. And that at that time was really important, because football has always been sort of my escape, and it kind of turned into this awful pressure I was putting on myself. And having the team as a support, and not only the team but the management as well. So Nick Bowen, who's still currently our manager, was unbelievable and gave me the freedom to take the time off and sort myself out, and then kind of really helped me ease my way back in. And even then, as we were getting later in the year, when I was a lot better but I still wasn't sort of 100%, things like taking into account in matches that, you know, maybe I wasn't 100%, and mentally I was still getting, you know, back to a really good place. So thankfully it's been up since then, thankfully, so touch wood. Obviously it's been tough recently, with coronavirus and the kind of resulting lockdown. We sort of went from obviously training 4 times a week together, seeing everyone together, that support network being physical, to sort of it just being gone. So, you know, we found out one day towards the end of March, it was like lockdown's in, no training, everything was cancelled. That was really tough initially, because I suppose, yeah, like I said, it's sort of your support network that you go to, and it really sets a sense of structure, and kind of comfort almost in your week. And obviously for me, sport is such an outlet, so it removed that. So that was extremely tough. So we did do things with the team, like we did this table quizzes everyone did, and we had some initial analysis sessions before it was evident this was going to go on for quite a while. And it was tough, because I think a lot of the things I hear from the team is being around all the girls. So kind of being removed from them was very tough. And as well with my friends, I think it was sort of a thing that initially it was kind of tough. Life kind of slowed down, which was nice, but then you're kind of removed from everyone. But probably similar to when in 2017, when I realised the sport network I had around me, probably it's given me more of a sense of clarity on sort of people I have around me, and how important it is to make time for them, because really this probably has meant that people are making more time, because there is more time in the day, because we're not commuting into work and I'm training every night. So in terms of, you know, advice I'd give players that are struggling for depression and maybe haven't yet asked for help, is the biggest thing for me was talking and opening up. And I think a lot of us have an sort of inbred sense of not wanting to appear vulnerable or weak. But the kind of knock-on effect of that is, if you don't open up, you kind of hold everything in on yourself, and there's no need for that. Like I said, realising that I had that network around me, had I reached out to that network sooner, I don't think I would have ended up as low as I think. It is really to talk, to talk to someone. It doesn't really matter who it is. The idea that it's not just you in it, because I think often we get into these lows where you feel like no one understands that you're in this deep depth of despair and there's no getting out of it. And often just talking to someone helps you envision that there is an end to it, and that there is a way of getting out of it. So I couldn't state the importance of talking and communicating and reaching out to people, because we're all human, and everyone has experienced, maybe not to the extent that you're experiencing it, but everyone has experienced some period of low, and they understand what those feelings are like.